Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome back to the channel. Today we have yet again a car that I've rented off of Turo, and what I'm going to do is give you guys a first impression. I have driven it a little bit to get to this location. Still want to give you guys my first impression of it, driving through these twisty roads, some of my favorite roads out here in the Bay Area, and also put it into sport mode, things like that, and just give you my take on this. This one's a 2015, so it will be for someone who is looking for, let's say, a bargain luxury SUV. This one's priced well if you buy it used. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop in and go for a drive. Okay, inside the BMW X5, here's the key fob. Now he has a little sticker on here. Again, I rented it from Turo. Pretty nice, good weight to it. Really, all you need to do is have the key with you. Hold the brake down, push the start. As you can see right off the bat, we got the lane assists. Basically, it gives you like a vibration right in the steering wheel as if you're hitting little bumps on the road if you're going outside of your lane. But we will go over the specs of the car in another video, things like that. This is just more to give you guys my first impression on driving the car. Just like a traditional e-brake where you would pull to set it and you would push down. Just let go of that. Red light turns off. There's a lock unlock right here. Just press that, pull it down, and you're into drive. No shifty paddles on this one, so we're just gonna hit the gas and go. If you guys are subscribed to the channel, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. If you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. Hope you stick around. Hope you consider hitting that subscribe button. Basically, what I do is mainly some car vlogs along with my Alfa Romeo 4C, my Abarth 500, my Porsche 987, and also my Ducati Panigale, and go out and do car and motorcycle related videos, but every once in a while I'll do a car that I've rented off of Turo, which brings you to this video. This is a 2000, like I mentioned before, a 2015 BMW X5. I have rented off of Turo multiple times. I also plan on doing a video on the pros and cons of renting off of Turo, so look out for that. I also have, and I'll have it linked down in the description, a kind of like a how-to rent off of Turo, one specifically on using the Go app, which is what I use for this car. So that'll be linked down below as well. Overall, you know, don't have too much to compare to. I did rent a Jeep Wrangler. Now that's just completely different from this as far as the feel. This is a luxury SUV, so the seats feel plush. The suspension feels great. The drive, the ride feels nice. Anyways, we're approaching a part of my favorite road where we're going to be going through some twisties now. I like to take these cars, no matter what they are, Jeep Wrangler, X5, Boxster, Alfa Romeo 4C. When I rented one before I bought mine, I like to take them on these roads and put it in sport mode. Now it's in sport mode. Let's face it, you know, if you're a car enthusiast and you're watching this, you don't want your family car to just be something, in my opinion, I'm pretty sure you don't want your car to just be something boring, right? That you just take out and, I don't have kids, but like if you know, take your kids out or your pets, and you get your groceries, not just something like that, but something that you, when you're out on a road like this, you can just, yeah, feel like you're driving a sports car, even though you're in something this big. And that's what I'm trying to get at right now. Again, this is my first time driving this car, but putting it into sports mode, the engine sounds a little bit. Well, the brakes are actually not that bad. Maybe it's just a setting thing, but. But yeah, this is handling these twisty roads pretty well. I like it. Now, the only SUV we have in the fleet that I can compare this to really is our 2005 Lexus RX 330, and which, you know, Lexus luxury, just like BMW as well. Now, never mind all the features that this one has that the Lexus doesn't have. And I'm not talking about Lexus in general, I'm just speaking about the one I own. If we're talking about just the drive, the speed is not, it's obviously not there. It's a big SUV, but the fun factor of going through these roads and the way this X5 is handling it in sports mode. There we go. It's not bad. Not bad. I wish I had paddle shifting. That's funny because like when I first started renting these cars, I thought to myself, like stick shift all the way, manual transmission. But if you are in an automatic car, those paddle shifters I've gotten used to now. Not so much the upshifting. The upshifting, just hit the gas and let it do its thing for the most part. But the downshifting, that's the one thing I think this car is, or SUV is lacking. Some little paddle shifters. I think I do have. I am able, I believe, to control it down here. So, but if you're like me, keeping your hands on the steering wheel and just flapping those little things. But we are gonna try it in manual mode now and see if I can. Let me see, plus, minus. Okay, we'll give that a shot when the time comes here to kind of throw a little downshift. Okay, so using this down here, just giving a little tug and pull, nothing too impressive. We're not talking about PDK here. I don't even know if, and you gotta excuse me for not knowing too much about the car in general. Again, I'm just trying to talk to you guys about the feel of the drive. But don't even know if it has a dual clutch. But anyways, the upshifts, the downshifts, I mean, they're there, but it's just, again, it's an SUV, it's not a sports car. I would say definitely, right now, just my first impression of it, driving it on the freeway to get to the spot where I first started, stop and go, it's what you would expect from an SUV. Comfortable, really comfortable. But what really made me smile is putting it in sport mode, going down those twisty roads. That's something that I wasn't sure that this SUV was gonna bring a smile to my face as far as that. Everything else so far, it's what you would expect from a luxury brand like BMW in an SUV. Steering wheel feels good, handling feels fine, height is where an SUV is supposed to be at. And yeah, you could drive this all day long. Value, when it comes to the way it drives, because obviously when it comes to value, there's a lot of things you have to factor in, right? As a whole, obviously the demand, right? There's a bunch of these out there. The amount of miles, the way it was kept, the upkeep of the car. So we're talking about buying used. But if you're talking about just the drive itself, what can I say? Luxury SUV, you're getting what you expect when you're searching for a luxury SUV. So I mean, that's simple. It's easy. This is not something like the Jeep Wrangler that I rented, where you probably have, like, some people I think that have just looked at something like a Jeep Wrangler and just based it off of looks. I think it looks cool, like in that all black and black that was really popular at probably a couple of years ago, maybe even now. And you have no idea how it drives. That may be like an eye-opener when you finally go to drive something like that. But if you've driven a typical SUV or a luxury SUV, and I think for me this is a good selling point, is that if I wanted to upgrade from like a 2005 and get something more luxury, something that has more of like the bells and whistles, then this car might be it for me. Not a huge difference from what I already have, but it just has all the little things that my current SUV doesn't have, my older SUV doesn't have. and it's also not breaking the bank, right? Because I think I found one with similar amount of miles as this one. This one, we're currently almost at 120,000 miles on this one, and I found some on cars.com with about the same amount of miles, pretty much the same specs, for $15,000. Again, that's, you know, we don't know the history or anything like that. But I guess the point I'm trying to arrive at is that if hopefully this video helps you out in the sense of that if you are in the used market looking for a car, this car specifically, and you're thinking, and you haven't driven a BMW X5, but you have maybe driven another, you know, typical SUV, this is not going to feel and drive so different or completely different that you're like, no, I don't, you know, I don't want to get into something that feels rough or maybe too big or, you know, just hard to drive or something like that, or something that you maybe even feel like, oh no, it's a BMW, I don't want to like take that out and about where, you know, something might happen to it. I don't think you have to have that feeling with this SUV. I think you could comfortably drive it, have fun with it. Yeah, so I guess that's really just to assure anyone that is looking for a car like this, that, you know what, it may not be that spectacular or that big of a difference compared to other SUVs, but for some people it might give you some reassurance. You're not going to hop into something that's so different that's going to turn you completely off or make you feel like you made the wrong decision. Once you start talking about those other SUVs like the Jeep Wrangler, like the point I made before, that's when you really have to consider the FJ. That's another one one of my buddies has. Those are the ones where you gotta then think like, okay, this is not, you know, cars like that are probably not the ones that you want to just make the jump, and you'll feel a different kind of drive, a different kind of ride. Anyways, hope this video, I don't know if it was helpful at all to anyone watching. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but that's just my first impression on the 2015 BMW X5. Look out for a tour. I'll be doing a tour of the car itself, or SUV. If you have any questions or anything like that, go ahead, leave a comment. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe. Share with anyone that might like this type of content. Look out for those other videos coming out, and I'll talk to y'all later.